So we just released a video series that talked about the importance of project management, and I think it's a killer video. If you have any desire to build a custom home, you should go watch that video that goes into more depth. But I wanted to share a quick insight on why that video rings true to us and our clients. In short, I had an acquaintance that I've known for the last couple years, and I was really excited when I heard that he had bought a new residence in Arcadia proper and was getting ready to design an amazing custom home that they were hoping to be in prior to their oldest son starting high school. It was to my surprise a couple months ago when I got a call that illustrated some of the frustrations that our soon-to-be future client was dealing with during the process of getting from the purchase of the land to the point in which he can build. And the conversation went something like this. Hey Nathan, I ran into some hiccups and I think that they're gonna be kind of costly when it comes to the constructability of our home. We found ourselves in a floodplain, and ultimately it's gonna force us to be able to do a lot more land development than we originally anticipated. We've been working on our designs for about 2 years, and we still haven't even seen permits, so we haven't even had an opportunity to start the construction of our home. I could tell by the tone and demeanor that there was a lot of frustration and that they weren't getting to the end result that they were looking for. And that simply put, they were looking for advice from a contractor that built within the area. So let's fast forward a couple months and talk about where it was going for them and how it's going today. One of the first things that I did was reached out to a few civil engineers to be able to get some background and just be able to help, to be able to determine how I might be able to consult and alleviate some of the frustrations that already resided within the situation. I quickly was able to make some suggestions, none of which were that great, but finally got to the point where I told our client, why don't you just look at finding a better lot to build on? To which the reply was, well, we already feel like we have a small slice of pie that we can't get again, especially with the tumultuous real estate environment that we find ourselves here in the Phoenix market over the last couple of years. Now, given that we build on spec, I knew this wasn't true. I knew that there was plenty of opportunities to be had if they were working with the right team. So I sat down with his wife and explained that there were lots that came across our desk pretty frequently within the areas they were looking to build. This opened up a whole new set of opportunities that they didn't even realize was an option for them. We discussed quickly what they might be able to sell their current property for and what it might look like to be able to buy a new residence that had substantially less work to be able to get to the end result that they desired, which was to actually build. It was just a couple of weeks ago as we started looking for lots and as they got their ducks in a row to be able to purchase a new property. So within a period of 3 months from our initial call to today, we were able to get them under contract with the real estate side or division of our company that allowed for a better building envelope, a larger lot at a lower price that will avoid many of the nuances and additional costs associated with the floodplain that are creating a fair amount of nuanced problems, not only here in the Valley, but nationwide. But to my surprise, after going under contract, just 24 hours later, I had a signed pre-construction services agreement in my inbox, ready to move on with the project. The reason that this was so surprising, because the house that they currently reside in was an owner build, meaning they built it specifically for their family with no GC involved. I also knew that he had a fair amount of construction knowledge as he does government contract work that allows him to be able to build various things and take on various projects within the government sector. However, over the last 2 years, with the mounting frustration that came across by not having good project management and a good team to be able to get them to a point where they could build exactly what they wanted, they realized the benefit that we could bring to the table. Within a few short weeks, we're close to having all of our design professionals selected. We're working on a small variance that will allow them to be able to increase the overall setbacks within their lot, and we can't wait to get started. I can't guarantee that it's gonna be just a couple of months before we come out of the ground, but I can guarantee that it's not gonna take 2 years to get to a point where we can actually build. So it's something I mentioned in past videos and to almost every client that walks through the door. This client has a full-time job and his wife is raising 3 amazing children, and they find a value in being able to push this work forward smoothly with proper communication that will allow them to be able to enjoy their custom home for years to come. In the first couple weeks, we've already saved them countless hours and phone calls, discussing the project, working with various professionals that involved surveying, soils, legal representation, as well as all of our design professionals, and are consolidating that into 2 simple meetings that they've had thus far that result in about 3 hours of time. And in their own words, they already can see the difference of having a qualified team of professionals working on their behalf to get them to the end result. We couldn't be happier with how this relationship has evolved over the last couple years, but more specifically over the last couple months. The process of building an amazing custom home is not as complicated as many would like to believe, especially if you're working with the right team. Reach out to Rebuild the Block to be able to understand how we could smoothly move you through this process of acquiring a perfect piece of property that you will be able to call home. Overall, we're excited for the opportunity to be able to help this client and many others over the years to be able to achieve their desire for home ownership here in the Valley. Continue to follow along for all the updates of this project as well as many others. Have a great day.